Mhm. You got to know where to hold them, know where to tip them, know when you can walk away, know where to run. You never count your tips while you sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Hey, people. Good morning, y'all. She talked to Merch. Erica J. Fraser Laurie. Cheryl Burnett. Mocha Drop. Kimberly White. Y'all the first ones in here. I am Miss Red. How y'all doing? Hi, Alfreda Gross. People, I see that there's a conversation going around the country. It's been going on for about a year, the conversation on this issue of tipping. I saw today it was on Good Morning America and a couple of other of them, because based on the fact that there's a viral video going out of this DoorDash driver. There was a DoorDash driver. He delivered a $20 pizza to this woman in the suburbs, right? He handed her the pizza, and then the woman said thank you. And as he turned to leave, he said, "This is a big house for a $5 tip." Ooh, right. The woman had one of those. Y'all gotta stay up with this technology. One of those door camera things, right? And she recorded this. I'm trying to think. Wait a minute. The pizza cost $20. Here's my first point of contention. The pizza cost $20. She gave you $5. That's 25% tip. I'm trying to figure out, what do they expect? And it tells me also that I don't need to be ordering no DoorDashes and things. If these people are actually expecting more than a 25% tip, right? I mean, what's supposed to give you 50%? Half the price of the damn thing? Not 20% even. She gave you 25% tip and you bitching about it, right? And she reported him, and now the video has gone viral. Now, I know a lot of y'all work in service, and as quiet as it's kept, I'm working in service right now. But I don't come on here and beg for my tips. But when you cash at people or you super chat them, you're giving them a tip, right? But it is not a required thing. I do think it's tacky. I do think that young man should have been fired, right? You got to realize there are cameras everywhere, right? It was totally rude and uncalled for him to beg for more money. Let me ask y'all something. When Jay Wilson was driving DoorDash and picking up food for people, do y'all think he was asking for more tips? Can I have some more? This is all this is all I get. I've been driving. This is all I get. Jay Wilson, he out there. Okay, scratch that. Go back to the story, Timothy. Hi, Elaine. The Sparkle Covington. Cheryl Burnett, how y'all doing? She probably had a ring. Yes, she had a ring door thing, caught his ass and got him fired. He should be fired. And he shouldn't go into other service either, right? If he don't want to do the job, honey, he's getting paid for his job. Now, we all understand that many people who work in service depend on tips. But I think a 25% tip is reasonable. Why do you get a 25% tip? Because you drove the damn car and you delivered me a service. Correct? So he got fired. Me, myself, I believe that if there's a service actually being performed other than preparing the food, I don't think I have to tip everybody in the kitchen. Now, these rich people, they will go back in the kitchen. They want to give us special gratuity to the cooks because the meal is so good. But as a general rule, if I sit down in your restaurant, absolutely, I'm going to tip you. Probably 20%. If I sit down in the restaurant, if someone is actually, the tip is for the person serving the food, right? The tip is not for the cooks. It is not for the maitre d'. It is not for anybody other than the person to go directly into her pocket, correct? But if I order food and all I'm doing is picking up the food, I'm not giving you no tip. I've decided that at first I was doing it because they got the thing on there, how much you want to tip and all that kind of shit. But then I said, no, I'm not doing this shit. I don't like the feeling of being played and pimped. No one has brought me any food. You haven't done anything for me. Why would I tip you? That's my feeling on it. A single person like me who eats out every day, honey, how much am I willing to invest in that hamburger? God damn, no one has made any mention to the fact that everything costs more. The meat costs more, the bread costs more. The restaurants that I go to on a regular basis, those prices were the same for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden they're 30, 40% higher, right? So I'm already paying you more. So the hamburger done went from $10 to now the hamburger itself is $17. And then you want me to tip you on top of the I'm not doing it. If I sit down in the restaurant, you bring me water and you check my coffee and all that kind of stuff. Sure, we understand that waiters and waitresses have to be paid. But now, what did I have yesterday? Yesterday, I had pizza, 2 slices of pizza. So it was $10, something like that, $12. Anyway, so they put one of those squares in front of me. How much you want to tip? And they have it where you got to, if you're not paying attention, and I've done this before, you will think that you're just paying for the meal, but actually, no, you're putting that amount in as a tip. So I've learned how you have to skip over that, or you have to hit the green button to skip past the tip. No tip. I'm not giving you a tip. So, but that man the way he looked at me with those puppy dog eyes, honey. I had to go and put a couple of dollars in the jar. It used to be the jar was all there was. You put a couple of dollars in the jar. Some people put money in there, and some people wouldn't. In a restaurant, most people would if they have a tip jar or whatever. Anyway, this is a type of conversation. I saw it on all the major networks. Apparently, it's been sparked by this person begging, essentially. And I think it's something we're talking about. What y'all do? Then DoorDash, girl, please. So I'm paying you more for the meal because it's being delivered to me. I'm paying you an exaggerated price because of inflation, what it is. Then I'm paying you more because you're bringing the meal to me. And then you want me to tip the person over that price. Now, I think that's a whole lot. You're putting a whole lot on it, honey. And then 25% is not good enough. So are you bitching about an extra 5%? So you want 30%, or do you actually want 50%? Because of what kind of house I live in? It's not going to inspire me to be wanting to call your service girl because I'm not willing to invest $25 and $30 in a hamburger. Y'all see these stories? What y'all think? Be quiet, baby. The tipping culture is getting out of control. Yeah, it is. I believe that it is. What's with all these machines they got now, where they got you got it in the machine. You can't sign your name until you see this big old thing on there. Tip this much. Tip this much. Damn, can I decide what I want to tip you? It used to be you could decide what you want to give somebody. Now they got it organized and you tip this much. And in some places, they'll have the tip automatically included in the meal. They'll make the decision for you how much you're going to tip. No, you should make the decision how much you're going to pay your employees, honey. My tip is for, and then I'm telling you another thing. This annoys the shit out of me. You know, I work as a barista for years, volunteer my time, right? And sometimes people would give you a tip, whatever. They had a little tip jar there. Maybe you'll get enough money for a cup of coffee at the end of the shift, something like that. Wasn't a big deal. But then they put those machines in, and now you have to put their tip into the thing. They weren't giving up the baristas those tips. No, this is for when we have parties, or this is for when we buy donuts for the crew, or this is for this is for that. You're not giving the tip to shit, but to them, to the organization. So I'll be very leery about putting my tips on the check, girl, because we had no guarantee those people are getting that money. If I want to tip somebody, I want to give them cash. I want to make sure this is for you, sir. If somebody comes to fix something in my apartment, I don't have to give them nothing, but I do because you've done something for me. Damn, I could never have figured out how to get that light fixture up there. You've taken care of something for me. That's okay to tip that way. But when I go to my barber, hell, my barber used to call my barber to cut my hair before COVID was $9. It's progressively climbed up every other month since then, and now it's $16. $9 to $16 since the end of COVID, right? They didn't bring it back down because of COVID, right? They leave the price up there now. So now the price is $16. You got to give him at least $3. So that basically that's $20 for a haircut I used to get for $9. Right? All the money's going to the barber anyway. He owns the shop. So he's getting the whole $16. Plus, now I'm giving him another $3 on top of that. Whatever. When you have to tip for everything you do, honey, fortunately, I don't have to go traveling and working and stuff, but each person you encounter wants a tip. Uber driver, cab driver, the people who get your luggage, they want a tip. The people who walk you up to your room, they want a tip. Everybody wants a tip. You go eat some food here, that's a tip. You want to buy a donut, girl, in the middle of the day, that's a tip. Tip, 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 tip. I think it's outrageous, child. So what are the restaurants giving these people? Are they not even pay? I guess some states you don't even have to pay the people minimum wage, right? But I believe now you guys are just doing too much. If I go pick up food, I've not encountered any waiter, any service at all. All you did was cook my food and hand it to me. Why am I tipping you? Who does the tip go to? The person at the counter? Did they get tips too? Whatever. Yeah, them Ring cameras catching all kind of stuff, ain't they? People stealing packages and things. Technology. That's why I get so mad at people stuck on the book, because shit changes constantly. It's so much, honey. A few years ago, we didn't have no damn cell phones. We had to use a phone booth. Now they took all the phone booths away. And they got to give the people who can't afford a phone, they got to give them a Obama phone. But everything is done on the phone now. Everything is done on the computer. Everything's constantly changing, child. These Ring doorbells, how long have they been around? 5 or 6 years? Honey, they're catching people doing crimes, stealing packages, cussing out owners. They're catching all these Karens with their hateful ass. They're catching all kinds of stuff because they're cameras. And even if they don't catch you on the Ring doorbell, there's cameras every goddamn where. We got 12 cameras around this building. 12 cameras. Every entrance, every exit, everywhere, right? People out on the street out in front of us, somebody breaks into their car, we got it on camera. You can't even commit a decent murder no more. Everybody got a camera, honey. And if you don't have one, your neighbor got one. Somebody down the street got one. Everything's on camera. So that's how they caught his ass. It's probably going to make it difficult for him to get, since when you go viral, everybody knows your business, for him to get other employment involving service. How arrogant. What should she give you? 50% for a pizza? Women, y'all know that y'all got to feed not only yourself, but y'all that got to feed children. You imagine going to some of these restaurants, even just like a Red Lobster somewhere, or whichever, I don't even know, Fridays. But you go, the time you feed yourself, your husband, you and your husband feed yourselves, and then you got 3 kids. Each one of those meals is $20 a piece. Yours $25, girl. You walk out there, $200, and then you want 30% on the $200. Damn, how many hours I got to put in for that? I think it's getting out of control. They need to stop this shit with these machines. These machines are taking over. Or you got to be tipping, and then it may feel guilty if you say no tip. I don't feel guilty about no tip no more. Not if I'm just picking up food. And that's what I do the majority of the time. I pick it up and bring it back here. The tipping culture is getting out of control. That's right, Red Star. And listen, YouTube, we're working on tips. You hear me here on here. I mean, some people do. Jay Wilson, no names, Jay Wilson. They do come on here and beg for tips, girl. But that's supposed to be something that you have given out of the kindness of your heart, honey. I want to help you. I like you. Here's something for you. Right? that y'all know that the Essence ain't paying us shit, and even they cutting into the money now. Everything costs more. Everything costs more. All these restaurants, they all cost more, honey. You can take your check that you paid 3 years ago and look at your check now. You'll see that all the food has gone up. They'll tell you the meat went up, the eggs went up, price of eggs went up, whatever the reason is. Everybody raising higher and higher and higher, but they're not getting no more money. My Social Security sure the hell ain't going up. See, listen to Elaine. Elaine said, Cash App Timothy Blaine. Thank you in advance. What if we had you couldn't sign on until you cash at $5, girl? That it might be next. Don't play with these people. They got cars driving by themselves, girl. Well, they come up with a way that you can't watch the content unless you tip. Is that? I guess that's the principle of this. What is that thing called? Patreon. Not only do you pay me, tip me now, you tip me in advance, and then it's ongoing. I'm taking it out of your bank account. $16 haircut is a bargain. Well, I like the $9 bargain much better, Alfreda Gross. I sit in that chair for 5 minutes, child. It just zoop, zoop, like they do in the service. I don't have no line, no hair, nothing like that. All I do is zoop, zoop. That is really a pretty high-paid profession considering what it is. When you have a black person's hair, a man's hair, all you do is put the guard on there, girl. Zoop, zoop, zoop. You almost doubled the price. Next time I go in there, next month is going to be a 20. So now I got to pay $23 for older tips. Got to raise too. So $24 for my $9 haircut. I'm just saying. Then the barber owns the damn shop, so he gets the whole 20 plus the 4, right? I guess I was off. I thought it was 15%, but I guess now it's a straight. Nobody want less than 16%. Yeah, there's a place out here. I don't know if they do black people's hair or not, but these white guys that get these stylists and stuff, they actually want a hairdresser. I passed by the shop at the corner here, and I saw their haircuts were $35. But as a black man, I'm not paying that kind of money just for no simple haircut. Now, if you want to get a fade or something like that, then your haircut costs you more money. I don't even get a line, nothing. So, but he ain't the only one, honey. Everything I encountered costs more money than it did just a couple years ago. I went through a drive-through at a barbecue restaurant. The receipt had to be signed. It had a space for a tip. I didn't give him one. Hell no, I'm already paying you $30 for a couple of ribs, honey. Shit. What are you doing with the money I'm paying for the meal restaurateurs? What do you do with that money? You didn't double the price. So what do you do with that money? You ain't paying your employees shit, obviously. If you're expecting them to get all of them, and I would be very leery, people, of putting it on your card, putting your tips on your card. Unless the owner or the manager or whoever is going at the end of the night and calculating, I assume those things have computers on them, calculating how much tips came in. But even then, when they do that, that means they have to divide the money between all of the servers, right? So you all get the same thing. Where you're a lackluster server that barely paid attention to people, only covered a few houses, and if you did excellent work, you were a premier waiter or waitress, right? You're getting the same thing as the one who's lackluster because you put it on the card. What can they do? They're going to decide who gets more? No, they're not going to do that. They take the amount. And then will you get that then? Because your bills are due today. Or will you wait to get that on your paycheck? Or will you get a separate check for all that kind of stuff? Whatever. Y'all all say that $16 is a bargain. I think that $9 is a bargain. Now, considering I go down to the Mission to get it done, honey, in this little this little shack. It ain't like it's a salon, honey. Mm-hmm. You're so glad tipping is not common in UK at all? Oh, the Deliveroo and Uber drivers are high thinking they're getting tips. Oh, for cold food. Oh, they must be high. Also in Canada, people don't tip. Baby, they want tips for everything here. Every single damn thing you do. I don't even have Uber. I take a yellow cab, honey. But they traditionally get tips too. They get their money out of tips. I don't know. Then to say that 15% now is to be frowned upon and it's cheap. Now it's 20%. Well, God damn. How much should I pay for a slice of pizza? If I ain't got the money, I don't go eat out. Yeah, for years, they say black people don't tip. A lot of restaurants, a lot of people, that's a bit of prejudice in them and us, really. Black people don't cheat. Well, if you go to the ghetto, honey, are you going to struggling neighborhoods? They don't tip because they ain't got no money. Honey, they struggling to give you $17 for a hamburger. Right? That's a special treat. If they don't tip, they ain't got no money. I think the people who have the money, the means, will tip. Now, people like Donald Trump probably don't tip at all. They always say that he's a low tipper. Right? They feel like the money is for them. They got to hold on to it. But that woman show called his ass. Arrogant. 25%. What the fuck you want? They might not be getting all their tips. That's what I think. So you put the shit on the check. That is not going in your pocket. All the waitresses and hairdressers and shit I knew, they always had pockets full of money because they're getting tips. There's a fee the owner takes out when tips are left on the card. He takes that fee for the tips. That's what I mean. You can't trust him. Don't trust your soul to no backwoods Southern businessman. Cause the dude running the place got bloodstains on his hands. Yeah, they take that money and they have to split it up, right, between all the people. And when do they get that money? I'd much rather tip the person. Usually, if I'm thinking, and if I have cash on me, I don't have much reason to carry cash anymore. Everything's on debit. Hey, ding dong, get it bum over here. Uh-oh. Excuse me. My neighbors have the nerve to have company. Get the bum in this ding dong. Get it bum right here. Come on. Booty, 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 booty. I'm security, Daddy. Our Goonies never say die. They taking you out again, huh? What you do now? $2 or $3 an hour from actual company. Are they still able to get away with that? They put up a chart and they were showing you all the states where the people, the business owner, are allowed to pay them less because they get tips. Well, hell, how's it a tip if you will take it out of my pay? Anyway, California is the one on there. There's only 2 or 3 of them that they have to pay them at least minimum wage. I would think you would still have to pay the people minimum wage. You running the business. All that's profit, honey. Beans and celery and all your ingredients, child, does not justify you nearly doubling the price on the food. Right? That all goes to you. So that's what I mean. If I'm eating in a restaurant, I will pay the check on debit card, but I try to always leave the tip in cash. That way I know the person will actually get it. And it won't be split up 6 ways. Well, I hope they're not getting away with paying nobody no $3 in this world. Goonies never say that. Baby. Everything costing more, child. Cold fries, watered down drinks, will not get a tip. Ain't brought me a cup of coffee and nothing, child. I'm still drinking the same water. Some people are very arrogant about it. They just expect it. They're entitled to it. I don't agree with that. One time I was in this restaurant in Castro. The guy I was with was paying the check. for whatever reason. I think I might have paid it last time or some shit like that. And he paid the check, and he left I thought it was a reasonable tip. And the waiter came back before we walked out the door and said, "Will you consider a little more?" What is this, girl? May I have some more? Nigga, if you didn't get a good tip from that, you have to accept that and swallow that, child. Shit. Oh, that's so tacky. I would never go back to that restaurant again. I never have. It's closed down now. Maybe the people don't have the money. You ever think about that? I'm just saying. Oh, if they don't got the money, they shouldn't be eating at a restaurant. So you're all up in their finances and things, right? All you care about is what you get. Did you consider that when you were giving them shoddy service? Tim, your video about Tasha K was hilarious. Oh, you like that, Elaine? We got to go straighten her up every once in a while, child. But she enjoys all that. Tasha K don't give a damn. As long as you're speaking her name, right? She's hoping that people will go and investigate her and see what she said and give her $12.50 a month. Every month, deducted from their paycheck, girl. I like the tip. I mean, when I was in the street game, I tipped everybody. I just like being a big shot, just giving them, huge tips. Why? Because I can afford to do that. Right? I'm sure my lover's sister, I always thought she was a classy lady. Then I found out she was a waitress in Beverly Hills. But that woman was making $500 and $600 a night in tips because she worked at some fancy restaurant, right? And they tip big. Why they tip big? They live in Beverly Hills. They got plenty of money, honey. If you want to get big tips, I don't think you should go work at Burger King or whatever little places they be tipping their necks. You got to tip your Burger King waiters, girl. Money, 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 money. So people who work in service, we're not criticizing you. We know you got to make a living, but if you're doing somebody's service, well, I think it's arrogant, and you're entitled when you expect a tip for doing nothing. Just to ring the order up, you shouldn't be a tip for that. I don't think. And so now I've gotten comfortable with it. I don't care how they wrinkle their nose up at me. I did fall for the guys, puppy dog guys yesterday, but they don't like I didn't tip them. I'm tip you for what? Everybody's struggling, honey, and everything costs more. Should I pay a lot more in food? I mean, eating in these restaurants than I pay by a long shot, but I pay for rent. And bills going up, and don't even talk about the grocery store, girl. I don't even know if I would come out better making my own food, because the grocery store, child, every time I go in there, 2 small little plastic bags you got there, girl, that's $75 or $80 for 2 little bags. I don't even have a meal in here. Hit send button before I finish typing. Well, excuse me, Goonies never say die. He says I told you that my generalized dysphoria, dystonia, has me accidentally hit the send button before I finish typing my comment. Okay, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Goonies never say die. If I had it was okay. Yeah, I very rarely carry cash. I mean, there's no reason to carry it, really. Carry cash just makes you spend more money. So now everything is a debit card. But now, when I was in Indiana, when they first started doing the debit, it was all over California, where everywhere you go, you can use debit card. Even now, when you get into, you have to think about it in your taxi cab and all that. They all have a place to put your debit card or credit card, right? You want to park your car, you put your credit card number in there, right? You want to sign up for Uber, you put your credit card number in there. Everything is credit card, or debit card kind of thing. But I rarely carry in cash. But now, when I was listening to all them stories today, they did make something clear. I should carry some cash with me, just for that reason, for tips, or maybe you see a homeless person look like they're doing, they could use a hand, stuff like that. It'd be good to have cash on you for that, so carry a few dollars with you. She talked too much. I spent $280 mortgage pay. That's a car payment, honey, and had 5 bags at the grocery store. I was like, dang, damn, girl, can I get a break? Shit. Yeah, people working service, y'all struggling, but we struggling too. Y'all would need to make these kind of arguments over in Beverly Hills somewhere. People who got excess cash, honey. I can only imagine what it's like when you have children or a family to feed. $280, huh? Yeah, if I go and do grocery shopping once every couple of weeks, well, once a week really, that's always over $100. So that's $400 a month right there. And that don't include the fact that I'm eating out every day. There's no food in my refrigerator. I don't buy anything. Can of soup. Goonies said, I only carry cash just in case I come across a homeless person while I'm out. Yeah, that's a good reason. And sometimes you have wanted to do. I don't want to do it for everybody because there's so much of that here. But sometimes you really do kind of touch your heart, and you ain't got no cash. They can't take no credit card, honey. I wouldn't be flashing swiping my card, and then the machines grew for that, for tips, whatever. Sometimes you're in a scandalous, shaky looking, sketchy place. You might not even want to leave your debit card there, their numbers there, your information there. You might prefer I'll pay these people cash. You want Leroy's car wash, honey, please. There have been cases where these people steal those numbers too, right? Administrative fee. All they're gonna do is make people just not want to eat out. Like if I get burned by somebody or feel like I'm being abused by somebody, I just don't go there no more. I got overcharged $127 for some piece of furniture I paid it off. Whenever I buy something new, I always pay it off in 3 months, so I ain't got to pay no interest, right? And so they took the automatic payment out, and I said, well, I'll just go ahead and pay that thing off, and I won't have no bills at all, right? And so I paid it off. The buyout on the item, something in my bedroom, was $60. Those people charged me $197. Now I say, now how in the hell did that happen? You gonna blame it on the machines? If I were not paying attention, I would have been charged $197 on a $60 charge. Damn, I'm glad I caught you. So today they send me things. Okay, we overcharged you $25, $125 we overcharged you, and you will be getting that within the next 3 days, right? So it's 3 days later now. Guess what I get? $28. Now, how in the hell you approve me for my full refund, which is $125 minus the payment, and then you just come up with an arbitrary number, $28? So I got to go back to them again, get the rest of my money, child. I don't play with my money, because when you fuck with me like that, I'm not going back to your business. When I was in the drug business, I never burned nobody at all, honey. You want them to come back to you. Them crackheads be out there busting people upside the head and treating them all bad and shit. Why are you doing that? Who gonna come back and give you their money? Anyway, customer service. She talked too much. Then you gotta go back because of things that you need in the middle of the month. All your cosmetics and your cleaning supplies and things. Y'all have dollar stores where y'all at. I hear y'all mention these dollar stores all the time. We don't even have any of those no more. Before COVID, we had dollar stores. You can go buy some things you can buy in there. I don't know. I can never find very much in there, but some things you can buy, some cleaning supplies or something. even though it's weekend kind of stuff. But we don't have even a dollar store anymore. All the ones, all of them down in the Mission, they used to be all of them down the Mission, they're all gone. There wasn't a profit margin, honey. Well, first they started going up. It used to be a dollar store. Now it's a $2.49 store kind of thing. And then eventually they're all gone. We don't have no Dollar General or none of that kind of stuff here. They want the full price, baby. My friend in New York lived off his tips. Yeah, but that's the whole point. I mean, it's supposed to. If they're living in serving in a halfway decent restaurant, they should be able to make a decent living. Depends on what kind of restaurant. If you're working in a high-end restaurant, absolutely. People can make tip sales. Sometimes they buy their restaurant, but they worked that for 20 years. Like in Queen Sugar. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm talking, the conversation today is mostly about people who expect tips or feel they're entitled to tips, even though they don't do anything. They don't serve anything. They don't do anything. It's just at the register automatically. I don't like them ones to take it out automatically either. Your tip is based on 18% is such and such. I said, girl, I wish you would have told me that before I came in your restaurant, right? I don't even get the privilege of tipping the person who is serving me. She's been nice. We giggled together. She told me a joke. I can't even tip her. You're going to take it and leave all the profit to the restaurateur. He gets everything then, huh? Household supplies are off control. Your 4019, honey. Your toilet paper. I used to get them great big old Charmin. Excuse me, I only use Charmin. Them big old Charmin used to be $16. That same thing of Charmin is now $29. What is it, 48 rolls or whatever the thing is. But the point is, I used to pay $16 for that same size. Now it's damn near 30. Goonies, your apartment laundry still have to use quarters? Yeah, I always use quarters. I get $50 worth of quarters just for that. But they have it. You can tap your phone or you can. I don't trust all these damn machines. I like to be able to know what I'm doing. But yeah, I got to take time and figure out how you do that. You call in and then you just put the laundry on your phone. It might be handy if you don't have no quarters on you. I know they didn't change all the meters here in San Francisco, so you put your credit card number in there. So when you go over it, they charge it to your account, honey. You like Angel Soft? Mm-mm. The high quality went down, girl. I got to have my Charmaine, honey. Mm. You get cash in cases. Okay. I'm about to have to provide food to 2 locations once my son leaves. Oh, you got to carry your son in college? I guess y'all make a lot of money these days because some of these numbers it's unbelievable. Don't even start talking about the rent prices, and not only here. The way rent is these days, honey. Are people making that kind of money when they can just pay $3,000 and $4,000 a month for rent? Windex and Awesome is all you need. You need a few more things in that job. Windex and 409 is what I use. And then you have laundry soap, bar soap, shampoo. It adds up, honey. Stuff for your body and for your house. And they say, well, let's go home, make some food, make some food. There's no meal in here, honey. Baby, I ain't got no ingredients to make no spaghetti, child. Even though I just spent $100, they want to laugh. People, oh, you get food stamps. Oh, you get. I wish the fuck I could. I wish the hell they would give me a couple $100 a month. That would help out a whole lot, honey. Yeah, so let them go ahead and run their mouth about, oh, you get a subsidy. Oh, you get food stamps. You know good and goddamn well. If them niggas could get a couple $100 a month, they'd be more than willing to take it. The point is, you don't qualify for it, nigga, or you're too lazy to go and apply for what you need. Y'all know who that is directed towards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need some help, particularly when you got family, you got children. They got to eat. You got to clean them. You got to buy them clothes and stuff, child. So now the Old Navy is gone. Y'all notice what I always wear, just still these cheap T-shirts. I can't do that no more because now the Old Navy is gone. They done took everything out. I don't. Our whole downtown is going to be changed because half the places down there are gone. Half of them. Be quiet, Queenie. Excuse me. You can't be barking. You got it? If you bark again, I'm taking you out. No, I'm not gonna kill you. Excuse me 1 minute. The dog don't believe fat meat greasy. Move your bum. Come on, Queenie. Let me give up. He blocked me in. I can't get up, girl. Get your bum out here. Be quiet then. There needs somebody in the hallway. They out there. I know they out there. Excuse me a minute. Come on. You can't block your dad. Your dad's too big and ugly. Please stop looking at my ass. I'm gonna start charging. Y'all gonna have to tip me every time my ass crack show, child. I know you be looking. They be looking, Queen. Get it bum over there. Okay. Oh, they are out there in the hallway. Okay. All right. Where were we at? We bitching about tipping people. They say, oh, the black people don't tip. Y'all remember Justin J? He came on, got mad at. He used to do these rant videos before there was a beef sector. He just come over like Walter Hampton and him. They come over, holler and scream about everything. Right? I remember he made this long ass video about black people don't tip. I guess he worked at a restaurant at that time. Mm-hmm. They don't tip if they ain't got no money, child. Lower the prices on the menu, then I have some money to get, some extra money to give you. She talked too much. These people kill me. Anybody would take food stamps and be proud to swipe it. If they had it, honey, they're not qualified for it. They're not qualified for it. They talk about, you on the subsidize. You got the subsidize. Oh, your Section 8 house. Oh, you know people are resentful, girl. It's just jealousy. I just tell the truth, y'all. You jealous because you got to get up and go, and they don't. Right? You feel like, why ain't they gotta go? Why ain't they gotta go? You don't get it because you're not qualified for it. Obviously, they need it. That's why they get it. I wish the hell they would tell me I can get some food stamps. I would love that, honey. That's where most of my money goes. Shit. Mm-hmm. Did I skip over all y'all? You know I do sometimes. Would you consider a little more? May I have some more? That begging crowd like Jay Wilson. Now, I wouldn't be surprised they caught her asking for more. Would you consider a bit more? Nigga, ain't you driving a new Volvo? Shit. Didn't I just give you $30 to take me home? Now, the smart companies would say no tips. We do not accept tips. Every once in a while, you run into that, right? And but they'll get all the business, though. Just on GP, honey. Oh, I can't give you a tip? Okay, I'll call you back next week, honey. He said he would steal tips, too. Legally, you remember that? Declare broke. Legally declared broke is the name. I remember that. He said he would steal tips too. Now, why he got to steal his own tips, child? He probably figured these lazy motherfuckers, I'm doing all the work. And then they go split up the tips. I wonder if they split them up then, because those probably the machine could calculate how much tips. Do they split it up that same night and give them cash? Because the money's going to go back to the store anyway. Or do they make them wait until they collect from the people, whoever the hell pays them? I don't know, but it's not right that they all get the same thing. Why should I work harder? If I can sit on my ass in the back, girl, take as few tables as possible and get the same thing you busting your ass, what is my motivation there? So as a rule, I like pay your check, tip with cash if you want to. No, Goonies, that ain't the way it is. That ain't the way it is, honey. I ain't get automatically shit. I do get my Social Security though. Maybe I should check and see. Should I call them up, Goonies? I don't know. They used to tell me I made too much. I don't know. Some people got food stamps for just during COVID. And then when COVID was over, they either got cut in half or they don't get it anymore. It was for emergency money. I might have just been too lazy to go and look into it. I don't know. I think he got fired before from stealing others' tips that got left on the table. Oh my goodness, straight up robbery. Oh, that's cold. So why he bitching and complaining to other people because they don't tip? If he's walking around from table to table stealing people's tips, honey, shit. Some people are scared to leave their tips on the table. Especially if you're in a neighborhood with crackheads in it, honey. I know Starbucks, they used to have to chain they chip dart down, girl, because the crackheads would run in and take it. I assume they're on crack. I don't know. Whatever. They were so then they gotta bolt it down. She gets $30 per month for food. Oh, I'm not gonna go down there for all that. That's ridiculous. She's on SS, she's on Social Security and is disabled and gets a $30 a month food stamps. No, they got to give me more than that, honey. You can hardly buy 2 boxes of cereal for $30. But during COVID, people were getting $200-300. It's the ones I talked to. That's sad. That would help out a lot. Shit. But God has been good. I'm a blessed person, honey. I don't stress over money like that. Because I don't do nothing. I'll just sit here. I don't do nothing. Cost no money. In Georgia, if you receiving Social Security, you automatically qualify for Medicaid and food stamps. Okay, well, we're in a different state. I get Medicaid and Medi-Cal. I get both of them. But the funny thing is, Goonies, after I turned 65, they make me start paying co-payments. Because on Medi-Cal, which is actually Medicare, I didn't pay anything for years and years and years. No co-payment on anything. But now, since I switched over to Social Security, I got to pay co-payments on my medication. It's low, but it still adds up when you take a lot of shit. Run in and take the money. Yes, Lord, honey. You'd be amazed at the things people will do. You can't hardly go in anywhere. Just say for you in front of me, child. You one person in, one person out. They got gates, turnstiles, and shit. You can't go just walk in the store. It used to be 2 entrances. Everything was so free just a couple years ago. They closed off one of the entrances. They got look like got more police inside the Safeway than they got on the street. Then they got the cart where you can't push the cart outside no more because people would load the shit up and push it out. You got this big pole on the cart. You can't get it out. But I got to hand it to these business people. They made the adjustments for this economy. They made the adjustments because some people just closed up shop. They gave it up when all that stealing was going rampant. The stealing does seem to be calming down some, or at least we're not getting as many news stories of people just filling their carts up full of shit and just run out the door with it. So I'm not aware of the laws have changed any, but people ain't gonna stop doing that till you start putting them in jail. And I know that from personal experience. If there's no price to be paid, why not take it? And that's where they had gotten to here in San Francisco. Where's that? If you go to Walmart, what happened? Oh, you took you down again. All your messages. Okay, Goonies. He's not getting deleted. He's just he says his hand hits the send button or something. Yeah, they had to get serious about security, but they try to blame a whole lot of stuff on security. I don't think it's all security. I think a lot of it is people are just not buying retail. Right. They've always had loss prevention in all the stores. Honey. People just buying Amazon. They got used to buying not only Amazon, but all of their stuff online. The smart companies have had an online presence, or you can go to Walmart, you can buy whatever you want to buy from home. But people who are dependent totally on foot traffic, they're all struggling and having a hard time. I wouldn't be surprised if now Levi's, that's the Levi's, the San Francisco company, they may leave because they're going to be the only one on the block. Those companies, they get foot traffic because there's a stores, a lot of stores together. If they only got a couple of stores, why bother going downtown at all? So London Bree, her big thing now is to try to get people to convert some of this empty. They got like 35% vacancy and all these high rises and shit downtown San Francisco. They're going to start trying to convert a lot of the retail spaces and the office, primarily the office spaces, into residential homes or condominiums. You still enjoy actually going to physical stores? I guess it is generational thing. Some things I don't like I don't like buying clothes. It's a pain in the ass to me. My body is funny style now, and so I got to try everything on. It's just it's a hassle to me. So I don't like that. You can buy pretty much everything you need on Amazon, but certain things like antiques and I collect all these busts. It's just something I've collected for most of my life. I don't want something like that online. I have to see something like that. I have to know that it is, in fact, old. One time I bought something on eBay. I thought I was getting this great deal, and the shit was plastic. So, yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff. Antiques, old things. No, I'm not a big one for the store. I love going to thrift stores now, Goonies. Thrift shopping, I used to do that every day. Most of those stores are gone too. There's only 2 left that I even go to. Antique stores, what do you call it? Consignment stores. And now the main one that I go to, where I got a good part of the sit in my apartment, it's going out of business. That's the last big one that I know of in San Francisco. So the world is a-changing. But I think I have enough statues to last me, girl. Amazon is making folks wait 30 days to get refunds on returns. Really? They're pretty good as far as the actual return. Now, as far as when you get your money, I don't know. There's also across the street here. There's a Whole Foods. So they just want you to swipe it here, swipe some kind of one of those things, those square things here, and then you return it there. All they do is just take it, basically, and tell them that we received it, and then you get your credit, you get your money back. Maybe they want 30 days to get a check. I don't know, but I think I got money faster than that though. Depends on where you're at too. Yeah, when I was slim and trim and I used to like buy clothes then, so I could buy them off the rack. I just go back, get my size, get 3-4 pair of pants. Not no more, honey. Baby, they gotta fit. I'm wearing suspenders because the damn weight changes. I must have lost some weight at some point, because why in the hell am I wearing suspenders? Right? It's just, is the belly causing all that trouble? I don't know. In physical stores that they can't. Some stores are putting things in physical stores that you can't buy on their website. Okay. Yeah. For a while here, we had a couple of drug addicts in this building, right? And it wasn't the person who lives here. It would be the kind of people they brought home. And then when they're on their way out, they would grab the packages, right? So I didn't trust having things come here. But now, since the drug addicts, well, one of them died, 2 of them died actually, and the other one left. They don't have people like that coming around. But I feel comfortable buying pretty much anything online at this point, right? Some of that's not coming back, I don't think. Some of the things that happened in COVID, like people start doing all this online shopping, that's not going to change. You got so much less overhead. Good antiques are difficult to find. Yes, Lord, honey. It's so exciting though, as child. That's why I love going thrifting, because thrifting or consignment stores, because you know, it's that feeling when you come in and then there's a treasure. You know, it's exciting. It's like a treasure hunt. It's constant. But when I was when all the stores were open, I used to go to Goodwill and Salvation Army, all kind of places, yeah. And I would find something, right? But sometimes it would take days and days. I would go every day and I would find one item. That was a lot of fun. And then as far as getting too much or whatever, no, you move things around, change things around. You can always find a place. Yeah, yard sales are great. You got a car. Mm-hmm. Because you'll come across somebody who has the same taste as you. And so you want all their stuff. You like all their stuff. That would be exciting. Get your toes to curling, girl. Hmm. Oh, you got your first marble pedestal? Girl, I got marble pedestals up there. Ing-ang. I got some, honey. Look at this one. Look at this one. Solid marble. Then over there at that door that lady is sitting on, that's a marble face. Look over here. Solid marble. You can't lift it. This one over here. I got into this thing. I get on these kicks, right? Where I got into the pedestal thing years ago. And it's something that I've always been attracted to. Is statues on pedestals, right? Because when you live in small spaces, like a small apartment, you don't have a lot of space for a lot of furniture, right? But if you use pedestals, you can still decorate by putting things up on pedestals, right? I mean, this is basic. Every apartment you go into, they got a couch, they got a chair to sit down in, and they got a table, coffee table. It's the basic stuff. But you can put pedestals anywhere. I got them all through my bedroom, all in my kitchen. Not in my kitchen, but in the bathroom. I like collecting them. I like marble ones too. You ain't got to worry about nobody stealing your marble statues, your marble pedestals. Oh, y'all want to see a new find? I did find something new. Let's do that for a minute, because some of y'all like this stuff. One of my latest finds, this was in a thrift shop. Let me see. Oh, oh, oh. Oh my God, this thing is solid marble. I took her off the pedestal. She sits. It's a separate piece, of course. The bottom. Oh, woo! She's solid marble, honey. Ain't she cute? She's all cracked, but she's got to be from the 1800s from somewhere. You see that lady? Oh, she weighs a ton. Her face all cracked up. But look at the detail in there. Isn't she gorgeous? Hi, wink at him, baby. Wink at him. How you doing? It wasn't that much. I think it was. Hold on a minute. I think she was like $75 or something like that. That's good for an old marble piece. And that's really is old. Mm-hmm. I always find a place for some reason I love bust. Nice. I'm looking for a nice rent control place. I can't find them. What city are you in, Soul Sister #1 show? Yeah, I think the years, if the building was built before 1970 something, it could be rent control, but people rarely leave them. You know, that's the big thing. And they can only raise your rent a tiny bit, and then you of course the landlords want to get you out so they can raise the rent. But if you get a rent control unit, they can't get rid of you. It's very hard to get rid of you, unless you're selling drugs in the basement or something, sure. So a lot of the people in this city, a lot of the people here in the Castro, the older people, they have apartments, nice apartments. But if you were just moving here right now, you'd be paying $3,000-$4,000 a month for an apartment. For the same apartment that somebody got a rent control is paying $500 a month, and have been paying around that since the 80s. Oh, you're in Pennsylvania? Okay. Yeah, most of the stuff is online now, right? So when they move out of a rent control apartment, though, can't they raise the rent to market rate? That's the thing. Unless you sublet or something. But there are ways. I heard people still get rent control apartments. This is a regular building here, but they take all kinds of subsidy. So this kind of subsidy I get, it's on me. It's not on the building. It's not like Jay Wilson said, "Oh, you live in that a subsidized apartment deal, a subsidized apartment." No, the apartment is not subsidized, idiot. I am subsidized. So if I want to move to Grand Rapids in the next month or two, I could go there, girl. My subsidy is federal. It's permanent and stays with me, right? I can move to anywhere I want to go. I just happen to be living where I want to live. Anyway, but the big thing here, Soul Sister, is well, of course, rent control is huge. You see older people here. That's why they have nice apartments by themselves. But the other thing is below market rate units. If you can get you all the new buildings required to have a certain amount of units that are below market rate, there are agencies here where you can apply for all of them at the same time. And a below market rate unit would be if the rent on the apartment is $3,500 for a one-bedroom apartment, your rent would be something like $900 a month. That's below market rate. I have both. This apartment is below market rate. Then I have subsidy, so you can't say how much you pay, but because people get so jealous, they had to turn on your girl. But there's all kind of ways, honey. There's also senior housing. If you're of age, I could qualify for that. Now, only thing about senior housing though is, well, I wouldn't mind living around old people. They're quiet. But the issue is those apartments are all owned by the city, so they're not like fancy high rises and things like that. They're older buildings sometimes. Oh, I like what I have better. I just have to find my own place to live, though, my own apartment. Good luck, Soul Sister. Can't find them. Yeah, we got to spend more time online too, because there's a lot of almost everything's online now. Look for a job, you got to look online. Look for housing, you got to look online. And if you look for any kind of help or subsidized or anything that's available, you have to apply online. So yeah, I waited for Section 8 for something like I think it was 15 years. I was on that list. Yeah, although I've had it for let me see, I've been 12. I've had it for almost 20 years, almost since the time I got clean. I've had that, but I applied for it years before. Mm-hmm. You just keep it most, and a lot of places are lotteries. You got to apply for all them lotteries. If you apply for 5 or 6 lotteries, most likely you're going to get caught somewhere. Particularly if you go into the building that is just being built, they have to give 12% of their housing for low income people. You apply for that lottery. Everybody I know who did that, and most of my friends, they still work. So there's a cap on how much money you can make, kind of thing. But they all got housing eventually. Every damn one of them. It's almost necessary and a requirement to live in San Francisco. I don't know. I'm glad it's over with, honey. Waiting. They're still having problems getting them out of it. Not right. You are in shape and mind to move to the old folks' home. You're in shape and mind to move to the old folks' home. No, I ain't going. No, I was talking about senior housing. It's not an old folks' home. Not quite yet, Goonies. The old folks' home is that's like that's for seniors too, but they have medical staff and all that stuff. I'm just talking about regular apartments that just happen to be for seniors. You have to supply it, right? Seniors can't make it. They can't live on Social Security by itself. They don't have anything else. Fortunately, a lot of them have paid their houses off, so they don't have a mortgage. But if they don't, if they have still got to pay rent and so forth, they need to be in a senior facility for more reasons than just the rent. But the rent being the primary thing. Most of that housing is, all of it actually, is based on 30% of your income. Now the government says that everybody should be paying no more than 30% of your income. But if you live in these places like Pennsylvania or New York, San Francisco, California, all over California, things like that, a lot of people are paying 45, 50% of their income. You shouldn't be paying that much for just rent. Okay. Ooh, they're raising your rent. What, 30? Is it $30 a year? Well, that ain't no money. Shame all. Raising our rent $30 a year? No, you make $300 a year. Shame all because some people are not paying during that time. Oh, they're trying to raise your rent then. Oh, not per year. Then you talking about per month? Because a lot of they're trying to make up for. Well, the landlords, you got to feel for them too, because a lot of them weren't being paid rent and they still got to pay the mortgage. So it's all kind of problems, honey. All kind of problems concerning housing, and this pandemic made everything complicated. What about all those months where they weren't allowed to evict nobody? People getting, now they're 6 months behind their rent. Then they say, okay, it's over now, so now you owe me $20,000. Your rent is being raised $300 a month. All kind of stuff. New York rent is sky high. The rent is too damn high. What's that old brother? He come on there. He went viral, child. The rent too damn high. When you add the rent with all these other expenses going up, child, That's for each year. Oh, they raise it up $30 a month. Okay. Well, hope you find the right place. Keep looking. Don't give up. You see any lotteries in your town? I don't know how it works there in Pennsylvania, but sign up for lotteries, honey. You think about lottery is you could have to wait. You might get on a list, have to wait 5 years for an apartment, but it's a lottery. They're like picking them out of a hat. You could also move in the next week if you were at the top of the list, right? There's a guy in my old. I lived in a nice studio before this apartment. He moved in the following week. He won the lottery and had to move out. Right, he had to leave that lease. I don't know how he got out of it because his name came up at the top of the list when he signed up for some lottery to a much bigger, better place. You know. Most apartments only has like 2 below market. Well, here's I believe the number is 12% below market rate units in every building. So every new construction. New construction is kind of a big deal here. They got all these buildings they built in this housing boom, this building boom, and now they ain't half empty. But 12% is still a lot. If you got 100 units there, that's what this building is. That's 12 units below market rate apartments. You got to just stay online and check it out and see what you got, what your town offers. And it does depend on we're talking about. We're all in different states, right? So the rules are different in every state. Goonies. We had a severe problem with housing here, so they had to come up with that deal. They can either rent those 12 units out below market rate, right? Which I guess they get some kind of tax break for doing that. Or they can, if they want to have a fancy building, they can build their 12 units, or depending on how many there, if they have 200, it'd be 24 units off-site. They can, in other words, build a whole building that is below market rate. They can do that as well. They have that option. They don't talk so much about the housing thing here lately, but since I've been here 37 years, it's all they talk about. It has been a topic of conversation, the lack of housing and the growing number of homeless people since I've been here. No, not a month. That's per year, Timothy. Okay. Credit card debt. Yeah, I don't allow myself to have no credit cards. Yeah. Right. They always offering you to do that. I can't afford no extra bills. Yeah, I need to stay below the radar on all that. You get credit cards, start spending like crazy. Be quiet, boy. You want to move to Seattle, but they keep raising rent. Seattle also. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it used to just be they talk shit about California, New York, but now it's everywhere. Rents are high all over the country. And mortgages, if you can find a mortgage, honey. They're high as well, much higher than they were. But you can, if you choose to live somewhere else outside, I mean, if you don't live in the city, you live in somewhere like San Antone, you probably still find an apartment $700 a month. I've never been to Seattle. I might want to check it out at some point. I just don't like traveling, but Seattle's pretty close. And I heard their rents are getting outrageous as well, and their homeless problem. So we're hoping that's not going to happen. Soul Sisters, just go and put in a couple of applications for some of these, whatever they call in your town. these units that are below market rate. It's important. I don't understand people who are bragging about they're paying market rate like that's better. I'm paying 4,000. I'm paying 4,000. Girl, why are you bragging about that, girl? You paying 4,000 for the same thing a person paying 200 for, and that's the reason to brag. What are your bragging rights? You're working to pay rent or mortgage. They doing something out in my hallway. No wonder my dog going crazy. They doing construction. All right, people. Thank y'all for coming in today. Carry a few dollars in your pocket for tips. Later, people.